Good morning. Subject Human Resource Management, Semester 3, Bangalore North University, Session 2. Functions of HRM. This is the second session of your Unit 1, Human Resource Management, and we'll first discuss about the functions of HRM. In the first session, we have already discussed about introduction to HRM, meaning of HRM, importance of HRM, and also the objectives of HRM. The learning objectives of the chapter is to make students understand the functions of human resource management, and the outcome of this session will be students will be able to know and understand various functions of human resource management. Now let us discuss the functions of human resource management. Human resource management basically has two functions. One is managerial function and the second one is operative functions. First, let us discuss about managerial function. So what is managerial function? It is a part of the business management. So what all comes in this managerial function? Managerial function includes planning, organizing, staffing, directing, and controlling. Let us go one by one. So first function of HRM is managerial functions. Now let us understand the different aspects of managerial function. The first part of managerial function is planning. What is planning? Basically, you all know that planning means deciding in advance what to be done. So even before you start taking up any work, you decide what need to be done. That we call it as a planning. So planning basically is, it is a predetermined course of action. What action need to be taken, you will define it before you take up that particular task. So what does this planning do? It will act as a bridge between where you are and where you want to go. So whenever you decide to do something, you know where you are going to reach. So this planning will help you to bridge the gap between your present situation and your goal. So that is planning. It will bridge the gap between where you are and where you need to go. When you when you speak planning in terms of human resource management, it includes advanced personal program, contribute to goals established. Like when you link planning to human resource management, what are you going to decide in advance? You're going to decide in advance what are the required human resource, that is anticipating vacancies. How many vacancies may create? How do you fill that vacancies? How do you plan the job requirement? How do you plan the job description? How do you bring the source of required recruitment? And how do you obtain the labor market? All this will be a part of planning of human resource management. So planning in basic is deciding in advance what to be done, and planning in related to human resource management is deciding in advance what kind of a human resource is required, what are the expected vacancies that are going to arise, and how do you fill that vacancies. This all comes under planning. And the second managerial function is organizing. So what is organizing? Organizing means bringing together all the required things. In basic, organizing means bringing together all the required things. We call it as a organizing. Organizing in terms of HRM. What do you mean by organizing in terms of HRM? It is creating a structure of authority and responsibility and defining the tasks and duties of each member. So what is organizing? Bringing together. In HRM, bringing all the people together, all the personnel working in the organization together and stating the authority and responsibility among the human resource in the organization, and also assigning the task and duties to the human resource and managing a interrelationship between the employees and bringing a better coordination. We call it as organizing, bringing all the required human resource together, defining their authority and responsibility, assigning the tasks and duties to them, and making sure that there is a good interrelationship and coordination among them. This we call it as organizing in human resource management. The third managerial function of human resource management is staffing. So, what is staffing? Staffing is the way in which you bring human resource to the organization. It includes your selection, training, promotion. All this is a part of staffing. Staffing is bringing human resource to the organization. In staffing, what need to be done? It includes deciding what type of people to be hired. You have to decide in staffing. It is not just you recruit people or you select the people and bring them to the organization. You need to decide what kind of the people need to be hired, recruited, and selected. And also, how do you evaluate their performance? What kind of a compensation you give them? And the training and development aspects what you're going to provide to the staff. The fourth managerial function is directing. In simple, directing means showing the route or a path to travel. In terms of HRM, directing means it is going to it is going to decide the actions that the employees are going to take in order to achieve the overall organizational goals. So, in order to achieve the overall organizational goals, what direction people are going to take, that speaks about directing. And controlling. Controlling always speaks about matching your performance with the standards. So you need to match your performance with the standards. In terms of HRM, employees need to meet the standards of the organization. You put in efforts and you make sure that your employees meet the standards is controlling. Now moving to the operative functions. First part was managerial functions. Now we discuss about operative functions. In operative functions, the first thing what you have is procurement, employment or acquisition. You procure the employees or you acquire them into the organization. That has a points. First is human resource or manpower planning. You need to plan the required manpower for the organization and you need to recruit them. What is a recruitment? Recruitment is a process of searching for the employees. You need to search the required employees to your organization. And after the recruitment, next comes the selection. Selection is you select the best candidates, those who have applied for your job through various interviews or various selection process. And once you select the best of best personnel to your organization, you need to give them placement. So, what is a placement? You give the most suitable job to the people who got selected. That is a placement. And after the placement, you have induction and orientation. What is an induction? The one who got selected and placed, they need to get used to the work environment. They should know their superiors, subordinates, or people working with them, and the work environment, history of the organization, culture of the organization, that we call induction and orientation. This is the first part of your operative functions. And after that, training and development. Once the employees are recruited, selected, placed, and induction and orientation is done, the next part is training and development. Proper training on the job, off the job training has to be given, and managerial development. It is like designing and conducting a suitable development program should take place in order to increase the managerial skills of the employees. And next is organizational development. Herein, employees should train and improve the attitudes, effectiveness, values. So, training is only about on the job and off the job. Managerial development is to develop the managerial skills. Organizational development is to develop the attitudes, beliefs, values of the employees. And next comes is your career planning and development. Career plans should be made in order to fulfill the aspirations of the employees. So, herein we need to assist the employees in order to understand their own internal career needs. What are the employees aiming at? We need to focus about that and then decide what kind of a job can be given to them and how to fulfill their internal desire. And then we need to develop and publish available career opportunities in the organization according to the requirement of the employees. And lastly, employees' needs and abilities should match with the career opportunities. Next is your performance appraisal. We need to evaluate the performance on the job in terms of teams or maybe individual potential. We need to understand the potential of an employee as a single person and as a member of a group. In order to know the competent employees, ability of the employees, we need to have a performance appraisal. Next is the compensation. It is providing adequate and equitable remuneration to the employees. In that, we need to consider the job evaluation. It is nothing but the quantitative and qualitative measurement of the job with related to the wages or salaries we pay. And wages and salary administration is like paying required salary legally and according to the requirement and according to the job that is performed by the employees, and incentive given for the superior performance by the employees, and also the bonus given according to the Payment of Bonus Act. Next comes human resource mobility. Human resource mobility, you have a promotion, we need to give an advancement or upward movement of an employee in the organizational hierarchy. You need to give a transfer from one job to another in order to overcome the monotonous job. And in case if there is any inability of the employee to perform the task, sometimes we need to demote them to a lower levels. And separation, sometimes it is required that employee will get separated, maybe due to of retirement or death or dismissal or discharge, whatever it may be. In all the situation, and human resource mobility will happen. And next is maintenance and labor welfare. We need to have a better physical working conditions, and fringe benefits should be given like loans, medical facility, housing facility, education facility, and social security measures like workman's compensation, maternity benefit, sickness benefit, disablement benefit. And then you have a human relations integration. We need to understand and apply the models of perception, personality, learning, intra and interpersonal relations, group relations, and we need to have a good leadership style in order to maintain the morale of the employees. Financial and non-financial rewards should be given. Always the morale of the employees need to be kept high. And the last part of operating function is industrial relation. You need to always have a better industrial relation. There should be a collective bargaining where there will be a representative of labor and management to have a negotiation. Any problem with the management and the employees, there should be a one platform wherein you can overcome that. And if there is any grievance, there should be a grievance handling should be done in order to overcome the grievance. And conflict management, if there is any disagreement between two or more persons, that need to be overcome. And last is participative management. wherein even the workers should take part in the management activities.